It is October 18th, and we're back at it again here in North Grown Up, sitting in the redneck soft side blind. So today has been pretty interesting. I was sitting at work all day, and my phone was blowing up. I've got two cell cams out here on the Kentucky farm, and there was non-stop movement all day. Um, so I don't really know what that was all about. Best explanation I could come up with was that we had super high barometric pressure. We were at that magic number 30.4. The barometric pressure is dropping now, which that movement, in my opinion, is still good for deer movement as long as it's moving and not steady. So we're post front a couple days and back to normal temperatures. It's 70 degrees today, which is it's warm, but that's normal. I'm sure the deer will find that normal as well. So we're still on that bed to feed pattern. We're in that infamous time frame everybody likes to call the October lull, but these deer are still moving. You just got to figure out what they're doing. So we're sitting, they're moving basically in the last 30 minutes, and we're sitting in between their bed, which is very close to here. This is just a transition area, and they're heading out to feed in an ag field where the soybeans have dried down out here a few weeks ago. They're starting to eat them again. So we had good movement last night. We saw Diamond, which he's a really good looking 3-year-old. You can tell he's a younger deer. Doesn't have a whole lot of mass. He's really light in his rear end, but really nice buck. It's really nice to see that kind of buck in mid-October. So we're gonna sit here tonight solo filming. Luke wasn't able to come out. This was kind of a last minute ordeal here. I made my mind up, packed up, and then came right on over here. So we're on the brink also of muzzleloader season here in Kentucky, so that's this weekend. Tonight will be probably the last time I hunt before I hunt Saturday with the muzzleloader. So we'll see what happens. I really feel like this could get interesting. I've missed a couple good days where Uriah has been sitting here, and everybody knows that story. He considers himself tagged out right now for what happened with BLT. So if one of those shooters comes out tonight, Lord willing, we'll send an arrow his way. Mer, mer. Oh, good Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord. Man, I had to let go of an arrow. That was Mr. Perfect. I had to pass Junior. I couldn't get it in frame. I smoked him, baby. I didn't get a full pass through, but it looked good. Good shot placement, man. Oh man, it's so exciting. So we drove back out here. We got a good look at the footage back at the garden shed, Uriah and I, and shot looked good. Looks like we got both lungs. Just out of caution, we gave him a couple hours. So we're back out here now. We're going to take a look. Should be a pretty good blood trail, but it's going to, I would assume it'll be a little difficult starting out in this grass. So we're going to take a look, and hopefully we can come up with Mr. Perfect at the end of this blood trail. There he lays. White belly. Let's go check him out. Oh, look at this old brute. Oh. Well, I'm glad to finally get my hands on Mr. Perfect. This is a deer that we've known on the Kentucky farm since he was 2 years old. He was actually one of the best 2-year-olds on the farm at the time, but he suffered a bad break in his right leg, and as you can tell, he's got a weak side antler defect there, but he's still a large deer. He's a 4-year-old. Uriah and Joe have put in a good management plan on this farm, and it's really paying off. And I'm thankful to both of them for letting me hunt over here. One of the reasons that I decided to hunt today, because the conditions really weren't ideal. It was 70 degrees in middle of the October lull. But I have a couple cell cameras out on the property, and they were blowing up all day while I was at work. There wasn't any shooter bucks that were showing up, but there was just deer movement almost all day long. So I come to find out that the pressure was really high. It was like a 30.4, and when I got out here, it was falling. So that always seems to be a good trigger for me. The barometric pressure when it's falling, seems like the deer like to move a little bit. Why that happens, I don't know, but it paid off tonight, and I'm very thankful to tag out here in the Bluegrass State.